Okay, so today we are going to be talking about reasons why you should purchase a PS Vita. Um, Number one, it has a huge screen. It has a 5-inch screen. So here's my PSP. This is a 4.3-inch screen, okay? 4.3 inches. Here's my iPod Touch, okay? The iPod Touch is as big as the screen, okay? This is just 4.3 inches. It's going to be bigger. Just the screen is going to be just as big as an iPod, bigger than an iPod Touch. Okay. Um, Along with that, it also has a touchscreen. It's an OLED screen, and it's basically a Retina display. If you own an iPhone, it'll look that good. Um, it'll basically play PS3 games. You can do remote play. Play Battlefield. If you search on YouTube, Batman Arkham City on PS Vita comes right up, and you could see just how good the quality of gameplay is on the PS Vita. Number three. If you already owned a PSP PSP Go, then you will know how important a second analog stick is. It's not only good with first-person shooters, but it is great with driving games, basically any game. It's a total of a, and not only is it a real analog stick, it moves just like this. See how it moves side to side? On the PSP, there's this thing. It's called a slider. I don't know if you can. Yeah, this thing right here. It just moves side to side. So on the PS Vita, it's an actual analog stick. Reason 4. Well, not only does it have a quad-core processor along with 512 megabytes of RAM, it uh it has two cameras. So they might not be the best, but it's good enough for augmented reality, which that proves you need a really strong system for augmented reality. Another reason is because the multitasking. If you guys were, iPhone owners, if you guys ever like multitask, then you'll know how important it is. With here, you can listen to music, play games. Even though it doesn't come with an internal memory, you could upgrade memory card storage. So here's a memory card on a just a regular PSP, okay? And wait a second, I'll get my memory card out of my PSP Go. Okay, well, here it is. Little tiny thing. Here it is compared to the system. And here it is compared to a PSP memory chip, side by side. Um, anyway, it's got a memory chip and it can be upgraded as of this moment to 32 gigabytes. That's very uncommon on portable devices. They usually upgrade to like 16, but through updates you could upgrade to 64 gigabytes, etc. Right now they're running for $100, which if you're an older person, back when just this little 2 gig was $100. That was only a couple years ago, so for 32 gigs to be $100, that's not a bad deal. Another reason why to buy the PS Vita is not only does it have wireless and internet, which not most portable devices have. All my devices here right now, besides my computer, are running wireless G. So it has a really fast Wi-Fi connection. I think it's like 50 megabytes a 100. It's the fastest, just as fast as a wired connection. And it has 3G. And even though it can only download like 30 megabytes games or less, it's still very useful. Those of you out there who have an iPhone, you know, this is an iPod, but you know what I mean. You guys have 3G, so all those people who complain, why didn't they give you a 4G system? Well, 4G is not very known. All 4G stands for is fourth generation connections. So, there's no really speed difference. It would only be like 50 megabytes. You still it would never be fast enough for you to, just play online games and go. But it has Facebook, it has Twitter, it has apps, just like an Android or Apple device. Everything. You could post videos, YouTube, etc. The system is basically a PSP for hardcore gamers and an iPod Touch for kids, because it's got the touchscreen for little kids and it has the dual analog sticks and PlayStation controls for hardcore gamers. So if you're out there and you're a hardcore gamer, or if you are a just a little kid who's looking for Angry Birds, it would be a decent purchase. And now a lot of people are complaining about, okay, the system's $250. It's way too expensive. Plus your memory card, plus whatever. The memory card is $20. That's really not that bad. You can buy a game for like $10. You could buy apps for $1. So cheap. Um, $250. That's like $30 more than an iPod Touch. To give you an idea, an iPhone is $200 with a plan. Without a plan, it's $500. So if you think it's so expensive, well, you paid $500 for basically your phone. You're paying $100 a month for your phone service, and you can't pay $250 for a PS Vita. You know, so it's really not that expensive if you think about it that way. Games are cheap. Now, if you guys look out there, the UI system on the PS Vita is just incredible. It's similar to an iPod here. It's similar to an iPod Touch where you move it side to side. It's up and down though, so it would be like this. And with an OLED screen, it's got the most natural screen out there. And with 5 hours of battery life, a lot of people are complaining. 5 hours, it's not that long. 5 hours. How many of you are gonna go on a 5 hour, trip? Not many. If you guys are, just buy a car charger. I mean, come on. And I mean, even if you're going on a flight, you can't use a car charger. They have an external battery which doubles your battery life, so 10 hours. And you could charge any device. It's just a little box, and it's just a battery, and you just plug your USB, plug it right in your device, and there you go. There's your there it is. So those of you who complain about that, if you guys think it's too thick, okay, here is a PSP, okay, here is an iPod, side by side. It'll be just as thick, maybe a little bit thinner than this PSP. But what you guys don't understand is now it has a rear touchpad. It has it basically is two screens flat on back, and on top of that they have to throw in a quad-core processor. It's just as powerful as a computer. Uh, Really, I mean, thick. I guess you could say thick. But when you're playing a device that's so big, as big as this or bigger, do you want it to be a stand? Is an iPad? Then again, if you ever looked up, iPad dropped, you drop it off a table and the screen cracks. So, is it really that smart of an idea? If you guys are like me, you get angry and if you just throw it on your bed, I mean, do you want a really thin system? Not me. So, those are downfalls and upfalls to, the system. And that's the end of my video. Thanks for watching. Please comment and subscribe.